How old are you?
41.
My man, 81?
Yep.
When?
August 1st.
Shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's the same birthday.
No, come
Oh
on.
my
bro.
God.
There's your run right
There
there.
it is.
Oh, damn.
Holy
Sam, fucking king.
God.
Bunch of kings around.
Clearly, y'all were meant to meet each other.
Okay, you just really changed the game. Holy shit. I can't believe this, Mo.
He's meant to be on the show after that. Boy.
This is absolutely crazy. You know, we've been doing this for 5 years. Next month, big shout out to the VisionLab podcast. Normally we don't pat ourselves on the back, but
shout out to us for staying 10 toes down, because we've seen a lot of people come and go, and
this is a first for me.
And we've seen a lot of things just from a growth standpoint on multiple levels in our lives. It's an accomplishment. Shout out to us.
Yeah,
Yes.
but what's crazy, I've been alive, you know, on this earth for 41 years, and there's only, I think the number is three people that I know or have an acquaintance of that share August 1st, 1981, and one massive entity. Okay, so this is crazy, man. We're literally just talking, and I'm like, "How old are you?" And you say 41, and then I say, "Well,
81.
yeah." I said, "Yeah, okay." Shout out to 81. You know, when's your birthday? August 1st.
You're the first I know.
It's not a
You
lot,
got
bro.
3?
Yeah,
I got 1.
yeah. It's not, my mom's hairdresser was one, and I think there. Oh, my frat brother in Tennessee. So and you. I think that's it, man. It's crazy. Anyways, shout out to the Leos. You know, welcome back to the VisionLab podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Cuffey, alongside my co-host, Mr. Ryan Mosley. The VisionLab is the official growth mindset podcast for all visionaries worldwide. And guess what, y'all? We're showing mad love to the cigar industry. It's here on the VisionLab where we focus on people's visions and their dreams. We talk about what it takes to get there, tragedy to triumph. But today is going to be totally different. We're going right into it. Yo, Mo, who do we have on the show today?
Cuff, today's guest is a native of Kenya. He is a business owner, a serial entrepreneur. As you said, he shares a birthday with you, and after talking with him before we hit the record button, I think he and I are kindred spirits. Please welcome Hemal the Secret Patel to the VisionLab podcast.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
Excellent.
What up, and good morning.
Excellent. Doing well. Thanks for the invitation. Thanks for having me here. I believe this was God sent. Obviously,
Amen.
we got the birthdays together.
Man, it's crazy.
I was taking a practice golf swing, and you're like, you play golf?
That's 100%. Yeah, that's 100% what happened.
And you're like, man, you play golf? And I was like, once a week, maybe once in 2 weeks. You're like, I'm doing a charitable organization, golf, and come through. And I said, hell yeah, I will.
June 10th, be there. It's going to be amazing. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Big shout out to fmtrades.com. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for your love, and most importantly, thank you for your friendship. So if you guys are in the DFW Metroplex, make sure that you visit the website, www.thevisionlabgolf.eventbrite.com. It's going to be a fantastic event. Again, we're raising money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of North Texas, as well as the Alzheimer's Association, 2 organizations that are very, very near and dear to me. And y'all, we want to just do our part to help fight cancer and get rid of cancer. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it, man. I want to start here. So obviously, like you said, we were in the office, and I was downstairs doing some business. And I see this guy, Mo, and he's swinging the golf club like. it's kind of random, but you remember back in the day, you know, like if you play basketball, you know, you would just shoot it and act like you're always working on stuff, right? And it's really cool. And I think as you get older, you kind of stop doing that. So it definitely caught my attention. You know what I mean? And so us having the golf tournament in a month, make sure you guys are there. I'm like, yo, you play golf? He's like, yeah, I play once a week. I said, man, yo, you need to come check us out. Da, 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 da. We start chopping it up. So kindred spirits, like you said, and then the fact, you know, obviously they didn't know we had the same birthday, but the conversation was really, really dope. And in an instant, I was like, I like this dude. I heard his story, and we're going to get into that here momentarily. And I called you and was like, yo, we got to get this dude on the show, so on and so forth. Now, here's what stood out to me, right? Let's talk about where you are right now. Most of the time when we bring people on the show, it's kind of that tragedy to triumph, you know, rags to riches type story. But with you, we're doing the inverse, which I think is incredible. And I want to applaud you, Secret, for being transparent, for being vulnerable, for being honest, you know, in a world that, you know, that seems to be lacking. And just saying to a perfectly good stranger, yo, this is what I'm going through. So where are you right now in your life?
From being the number 2 gym in the country at 800 locations, winning the CEO of the Year 2018, 2019 at 9-round kickboxing, raising $1 million in sales at the liquor store, to filing for bankruptcy, and I'm about to lose my family. Like I am telling the story of a failing entrepreneur. And
that's again, shout out to you.
Yeah, it's not every day that we run into that. Like people always tell you about the rags to riches versus he's like, no, I'm down bad right now, for lack of a better term, but you know, we'll talk about his plan to get out or whatnot. But yes, kudos to you for being so open and transparent.
And people don't do that, you know, especially in this social media age where, you know, all you see is the final product, right? All you see is, hey, I got the Lambo, I've got the G-Wagon, you know, you show the bank account, and you may or may not have had that. We haven't gotten into that yet, but the willingness to say, I'm in the cellar right now.
It's the messy part of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
like
100%.
I don't think people understand it. Like, you know, like you say, you know, Instagram and all the social media stuff. We're trained to see the finished product.
It's the iceberg.
Yeah, there you go, the iceberg.
It's the iceberg.
But no one talks about like, no, I had to bleed a little bit to get to where I am. Like I had to really put in some sweat equity. Like I had sleepless nights.
Well,
like,
I think people talk about it, right? And I think that you hear it, but you only see the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Now we're actually seeing somebody that was at that apex, right? And for whatever reason, we'll get into it if you allow us to, right?
100.
Like, and let's just go there right now. Like, so how do you go from, you know, number 2 gym in the country, 9 rounds, doing extremely well, to about to file bankruptcy? How does this happen?
You know, you run out of money. You know, most small business owners, working capital is your biggest problem. And I bought 3 locations in the pandemic. I had 3 before the pandemic, and then I bought 3 during the pandemic, all for $1. Everybody was handing me, even my enemies, sold me and said, I'm sorry, Hemal, I treated you wrong, but you're the real deal, and I'm going to give you this key for $1. And I took 3 locations for $1.
Like really, like 100 pennies?
Yeah, like purchase and sale agreement for $1. But
Wow.
obviously it's not $1. You got to pay franchise agreements and stuff like that, and you need working capital in the bank. So, you know, I believe that I had the system down, and you know, things haven't changed for the fitness industry. You know, a lot of people work out at home. The American average weight has gone up, right? So
everybody got locked inside.
That's right. But you know, I want to tell you a little funny story. Is that same building we met? That's where I walked upstairs to meet my bankruptcy lawyer.
Yes.
And when I walked down, I saw that building and I saw that office, and I asked what they're all about, and I was like, "Yo, I need a job."
It was that day.
That was
a
week ago.
Well, yeah, it was a week ago. But what I'm saying is, you went to the bankruptcy lawyer
upstairs, 3rd floor.
Got done with that.
Yep.
You came downstairs, and on your way out, you're like, "Let me stop in here and try to get a job."
Yeah, because I saw a solar panel.
Yeah.
And I tried that earlier, but I could never pursue it because every time I tried, and I love energy, I want to change, we have to change. We can't go back to the candle days, right? We're using electricity now. But tomorrow maybe solar, hydro, I don't know, something different. So I walked in there and I said, are you guys hiring? Because I got to find a way to generate money. See, I'm not going to stop, right?
Wow.
Like, that don't matter.
Wow. And that's that hustle mentality,
Oh,
the
I
never
love it.
give up, the growth mindset. Like, I'm in the cellar right now, but I'm still gonna put myself out there. Still gonna put myself in that position. And you did say that to me. You'd come downstairs and went through an interview. I'm assuming got the job, maybe.
Yeah, flying colors.
Yeah, 100%. And then you meet me, and then we start chopping it up. You know what I
Blessing.
mean?
You're a blessing.
Blessings.
My mom sent you.
So let's talk about where we are right now. What is the fear, the anxiety? And I know just briefly from our conversations, you seem to be a man of faith.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does that look like when you have the cards stacked against you, but you still maintain this positive outlook, this positive attitude, this growth mindset?
If you talk to any successful person, he'll tell you he went through this, but he'll tell you the story after
Yeah.
he
That's
went through it,
facts.
like you were saying. So I'm going to do it a little bit different. Now, with me, there's no guarantee. I could lose it all. I could fail. I could go bankrupt. I could lose my daughter and my wife. But inside of me, I don't believe that at all. I know I'm going to make it. There is no way. This is the land of opportunity. Coming from Africa, being to 44 different countries.
Wow.
We take America for granted. I live at 3-star hotels when I go wherever I go, because in 2 days I'm ready to come back. At the beach, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm wasting life here. We got this opportunity in America.
What gives you the gall? We hadn't said that word on the show in a long time.
Two words:
Okay.
help people.
Oh.
That's it. Look, I don't have to work a single day in my life. My wife makes enough money, 2 homes paid, bought me my dream car. She said, stay home, be a stay-home dad, play golf every day. I got you. Okay, and I did that for 6 months. After I sold the liquor store, I came here, played golf for 6 months, and I said, whoa, loser. Straight loser, bro. This is not what you made to do. I've seen my last partner, my last mentor, from one store, doesn't know how to speak English. I had to tell him, you can't write in all caps on text. Straight out of India, off the boat. And today he has 200 locations. His house is $20 million. Took me 45 minutes to tour the house. But he has helped so many people, give them partnership and ownership. And that's my end goal. I want to give people, my employees, profit sharing to eventually teach them how to become a business owner and then buy me out. And that right there, if you really want to know the end goal,
done like that on a universal level, where everyone thought each one teach one. If everybody worked that way,
Well, it's the principle from Jim Rohn, right? If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. So
100.
tip my hat to you on that, sir.
I appreciate it.
so we've been talking. I've known you for 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And I told you before we hit the record button, we speak the same language. Raised in Kenya, obviously you've seen a different way of life, period.
And 44 countries.
Yeah, an understatement. Where does this unbreakable will, where does this spirit of I will not be denied, where does that come from? Because people have asked me that in my business dealings. So they're like I had a guy ask me literally last Friday, he literally asked me, he said, who raised you? Another conversation, I'll tell you about it.
Ruben Moses.
Yeah, Ruben and Sharon did a hell of a job. But where does that spirit come from?
The upbringing, the hard work, the not having the money. At the age of 14 to 16, I was making $350 doing paper route in the morning, going to school, high school, and then coming back and finishing a paper route. We're coming from poor family. We don't have money. And seeing all this, my nanny, my mother who raised me, African Kenyan lady, got paid $100 a month.
Oof.
and she was there 7 to 7. So I just haven't forgotten my roots. So to have this opportunity, once we get here, we forget what we have. Then we call America the road of glass roads. When you're in Africa, they're like, damn, they got glass roads in America, and we're like, damn, like I don't see no glass roads, but big roads. So it's just that fire. And at the end of the day, there was some fears of me, obviously losing my family, losing money, but going to jail. Been there, once for a night for DUI, and it ain't nothing. It ain't nothing. I don't have any more fear left. Well, both my parents died in the pandemic, and my mom said, "Son, don't give up." I was like, "You're talking to the wrong son. I don't do that." And she's like, "No, I meant don't commit suicide." Wow. She, for some reason, knew a month before she passed away that life was gonna hit hard. And they were big spiritual people, prayed every day, prayed about everything. And I've just taken that, like, don't give up.
You can't tell, but I got goosebumps. And I want the visionaries that are watching, and by the way, if you're checking us out on YouTube, thank you. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. We got the secret in the lab today. But I've got goosebumps, man, because it's so, I'm going through life right now. Mo, you know this, and we haven't even really talked about it on the show. I'm in awe of the mentality. You know what I mean? You talk about the spiritual presence of your mother. You talked about having reached the mountaintop, being successful, right, in what you've done, and now being humbled, right? A couple of times you mentioned your wife and your daughter. Why do you think you're going to lose them?
Because Texas is a community state. Like, my wife's worked hard for her money, and if I go bankrupt, they're taking her stuff. And not only that, like, we can't really, even right now look each other eye to eye because I'm a failure, and I can't, like, and I've been going at it because I don't give up. I don't give up. Like, I'm going to go right through it. And 9 Round is a fitness gym that I can wrap up and go make more money. But the thing with 9 Round is we help people get stronger in 30 minutes mentally and physically. So, like, I've had grown women, Vivian, come to me. She was in Fort Worth. We closed that gym down. She came to Mockingbird like 2 months ago, and we're like, damn, Vivian. And husband's a successful lawyer in Fort Worth, and she's just like, I can't do this. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I can't. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I need a workout. She's like, here's my card. I was like, Vivian, you family, like, don't worry, we got you a free workout. She's like, no, take my money. You're not going out of business. This thing is going down, and like, we are getting hurt. The community is getting hurt. For me, it's not about the business, and it ain't about the money. It's about the community.
You're serving that need.
Yeah, we all need it. I was 52 years old in a 34-year-old body when I left the liquor store. So after I lost 22 pounds, I went back to 33 years old. I've read 144 books in like 5 years. My mind has become better. So my body, my energy, my strength. I was always a hard worker even when I was out of shape, but now it's like unstoppable. So we have to save these businesses for the community, not for my pocket, obviously for my teammates. I got a homeless guy working for me that I've given a job. I've taken in 2 homeless people and a handicapped person who I started at $4, and today he's at $22, and I'm his mentor. So this is not about me. This is more than me.
He reminds me, or that specific statement reminds me of when we had Jamie Winborn on the show.
Yes, shout out to Jamie Winborn.
12-year NFL vet, got the pension, life is great. I think about his 3rd year in the league, he had cancer, renal cancer, right? And you realize, and Secret, you tell me if this is true, because it rings very true to me. In the grand scheme of life, we are so insignificant. Whether you're Ryan Cuffey, Jeff Bezos, Jamie Winborn, our sand is always,
we're not even we're not even a whole grain of sand in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, and what's super crazy is that I watched this deal on YouTube, and they take your bedroom or your house or whatever, and they zoom all the way out. It's like a 4.5 minute video, and it pans all the way out to just show you how insignificant you are. It goes from your house to your city to your state to your country to the world, and then it goes into universe, into different galaxies. And we sit here and we think that what I'm doing, what I'm going through, regardless of whether it's painful or successful, it matters. But that's just in the span of your lifetime. I hope you live 1,000 years, right? Probably not going to happen, but I hope you do, right?
Yeah.
But even in those 1,000 years that were granted, like, what are you doing in that? And what you're talking about is impacting people, serving people, and understanding that it's bigger than secret. I'm curious, where did that part come from? No, like realizing this is bigger than me.
It's just about 2 words: help people. Like, nobody's gonna appreciate you right now. Doesn't matter what you do, how successful you get. The more successful you get, the more haters you're gonna get. But I know the only time that I am ever gonna be appreciated for what I did is on my day that I die, on my funeral. And I have a goal. I want 100,000 people at my funeral. I want to have a hell of a party, whiskeys all around, cigars all around, and I want you to enjoy, because I've helped a lot of people. I got my ex-employee who came in with me and left. We got Alan right here. He's a rock star.
Shout out to Alan.
He's a musician, and he's got his goals. But I also know why it's stopping him. You got to have that right mindset, the mindset we have of keep striving. Like when talk about Will Smith, where he came from. We read his book. One brick at a time, and you'll build the wall.
I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
I dig the part of him where it's like where he says like I'm gonna go through it, and we've talked about it ad nauseum on the show. Like, no matter what your goal is, real estate. You want to be a barber. You want to sell cars. You want to be a lawyer. You want to be a dentist, a musician, whatever the hell it is. Like I say the game, life ain't designed for it to just be easy, right? Like you've almost got to be delusional in the sense of like, no, I'm going to make this happen one way or the other, period. And whatever is coming down the pipe, like you put your back against the wall, and like I'm ready to go. Like let's just bring it, because I'm going through whatever happens. I'm going through it, and I love, like I said, I've known him for 20-30 minutes now at this point. I love the spirit. Like I'm sure we'll talk off camera about some stuff or whatnot. Kudos again to you for, like you said, no one ever really shows the messy parts.
Yeah.
The bloody parts of being an entrepreneur and really like working for yourself and getting it out the mud. And you being so transparent and open is kind of refreshing, because it's people say, well, here's you see a before and after picture, but no one ever shows that in between part of That's like, right. Man, I was down to my last $20, or in your case, like
I'm down to my last $20 right now.
Yeah, right now. I'm worried about losing my family. Like no one ever talks about that. Just before and after.
It's past tense.
Yeah, like that dash in between before and after. That's where the magic is.
Life.
But no one ever talks about it. So kudos to you.
So
sir.
I just started my social media presence. I haven't been in social media for 2 years. Last time I posted something was 2 years ago, and this last week is when I follow me on Hemal the Secret 9. On Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, Hemal the Secret Patel. I am literally telling you the entire story, my daily life of the things that go on. I got served yesterday. I got to go to court.
Served for what?
For not paying a loan at my 9-round Preston location right here. And
that's real.
And last Friday, my Mockingbird location, number 2-1. If that goes out, I'm toast. But nothing's toast. You can always get another thing that will repay everything back.
Right.
And she said, that's it, we're defaulting you. You were supposed to pay by April 17th. I owe 19,500 or something like that. And I said, okay, that's cool. Just give me 30 days, give me more time. I got a plan. And, she was supposed to send me an email Friday for default. But sometimes, when you believe in God, she hasn't sent that email yet.
Come on.
The ultimate insurance policy.
Man, that is the number. And I forgot God for a little while. Since the hard stuff started happening and lost mom and dad, I forgot God. And, before when, we were kids, mom, in the morning you go to the temple. At night, you after school, you go to the temple. You pray all the time. You get in the car, you say a prayer. You eat, you say a prayer. But I forgot all that. And that has brought me back. And since January 11th, when I started this meditation and started praying every day, things have been starting to turn around a little bit. Well, I don't know if the business is turning around, but my belief, and obviously we got to talk about the secret. You know what I'm saying?
I was getting ready to ask. Like, I mean, we keep saying this, and like at some point you do have to tell us why they call you the secret.
Yeah, but before we do that, if you're cool with it, Mo,
go ahead.
Since we're on the spiritual track, and that maybe this can lead into, the secret. You talked about you forgot about God.
Yeah.
Not that I'm asking what your relationship is with God, but when you're in this season, right? When we go through pain, it's funny what pain does. It makes us go back and go to our Heavenly Father. You know what I mean?
And bring you back to center.
And you got meditation, that's going on.
That's the number one habit for all successful people. Tim Ferriss interviews all successful musicians, artists, millionaires, billionaires. And 4 or 5 years ago, I was at the dentist's office, and I was getting my teeth cleaned. And here's Tim Ferriss on USA Today. And the 5 ladies asked him, what is the one thing that all successful people do? And he says they all meditate for 40, 45 minutes. From Warren Buffett, everybody, and I didn't meditate, but I started learning it. And now the days I meditate, you're unstoppable. You know what meditation is? It's basically stop thinking. And that is not possible. You cannot stop thinking. So what do you think about while you're meditating? You think about breath, right? That is our life. Our doors to live in is through our nostrils. Those are your doors. We don't know how to breathe. We keep our mouth closed. In kickboxing, martial arts, we talk about breathing. Martial art kickboxers don't make noise because they're cool. They're breathing. And once we start practicing that, we're much more aligned, and the universe aligns with us.
So what has your relationship with God been like during this season? Now that you come back home. Yeah.
Right now, it's daily. It's morning, it's night, it's any time that I get in my car. It's a prayer going on. And honestly, it all came from my homeless guy. He used to sell drugs, went to prison for 2 years. I took him in. I don't know why. My business went down when I took him in, but he sends me, verses of Jesus. And I believe in all gods. I don't believe in just Hinduism. I believe in all gods. Like, I believe, have you ever seen God?
No, man.
But we believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing is belief, right? So, I just kind of started back into the prayers, first thing in the morning, at night, or any time I have, and surrounded myself with people who believe in God and are spiritual, and that just brings, belief again.
Spiritual consciousness, is really what you're talking about.
And to his point, right? We don't, obviously we're not a religious show or things like that. Like, hey, whoever it is you believe in, pray to that entity or spiritual being. Or again, whoever it is you believe in. People say the Most High, God, Jesus,
the
Buddha,
universe.
Right? Whatever it is that you think is beyond us. Like, I would say from personal experience, like, pray to that being. Like, as just he's talking about it, like, you know me, I wake up, I'm 1,000 miles an hour. Like I'm go time. Like I wake up, you know, our OG Texas, he walk a NASCAR, and I live like that now.
That's a good nickname.
And I go until I crash out at nighttime. But even I have to be conscious enough to, whether it's a Sunday and I power down, as you said, we get a respite, or try to find 5-6 minutes throughout the day just to take a deep breath and say thank you and be appreciative for where it is that you are. And like you're talking about, you know, you're again being so vulnerable about everything. If you I mean, you getting prayers from a homeless guy, so you know you're looking like, okay, I'm fighting bankruptcy, but hell, I could be homeless. And so I'm sure it's perspective for you as well, and being the fact that you said, you know, business might have gone down, but that guy's in your life for a reason. And I'm happy to hear that you're wise enough to realize that, like, you know, he's adding to your life.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Say that.
The guy's like my backbone. Like, I tried to let him go. He's like, yo, I'll just go sit outside. You know, he's like, I'll hand out flyers outside. You know, it took me 3 days to teach him capital A, Shift A on a computer. I got all this white hair because, you know, it's driving me crazy. But if you look at my reviews now at 9 Round Preston, Travis the bomb, Travis this, Travis that, you know, everybody loves him. So you don't give up on people. That's one thing. And the other thing is you got to believe in yourself.
Man,
you are a formation of God.
Man.
Believe in yourself, or who else going to believe in you? You know who said that, Cuff? 2 Chainz.
Well, there's actually a more well-known entity or being that talked about that, and they wrote the Bible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I don't know, dude. It's just crazy. I'm going to pull my phone out because what we're talking about is, you know, failure, right? And I promise you, it was last night that I saw this at the time of this recording, right? And I posted it in my stories, and I wanted to talk to you about this, okay? Proverbs 24:16, hand of God, okay? This happened last night, and I want your input, or what's your take on it. The righteous man falls 7 times, and yet he rises again. Like, to me, this is I'm a faithful person, right? And believe in God. It doesn't mean that I know the Bible in and out, but I know what I just read. And this is literally, bro, last night. We have no idea. All of our shows are unscripted, right? And we're talking about a righteous man that has fallen, and yet he rises again. I want to know your take on that.
Well, 80% of small business owners fail. And once you get hit hard once, most people quit. Right? That's just how it is. You get hurt by your friend, you're going to not talk to that person again. Somebody hurts you, takes money from you, you're not going to believe in that person again. And that's just our human nature, to give up. You know, and there's only a few.
But what makes you rise again?
The people. You know, I love people. We are the creators. We created this table. We created this mic. We created this cigar. Then why are we hating on the people? We are the creators. Except from Mother Nature, mountains, water, and all of that. We created everything. We have to.
So how could you give up? How could you quit? Look at what we're capable of doing.
Yeah, that's good.
But we made materialistic things. Now, if we can figure out every different personality and how to work with them, because not everyone's the same. Try to work with a homeless person. It's hard. You know, try to work with a very smart person. He'll try to run your business for you. You know? So it's never easy, but that is the end goal. Help people. Like, the more people you help, the more money you're going to make, the better purpose of life you're going to have, and then it don't become work. Then it just becomes passion.
God, this man is dropping gems.
That's the truth. I mean,
is.
when you find that intersection of all those elements, he's right. It doesn't even feel like work. It's just passion. Like, I just like doing this. And, you know, the byproducts of it, obviously, you know, you can kind of live the way you want to live or whatnot. But, and I'm sure, you know, as you climb the mountain, you found yourself working with people for the most part you enjoyed working with. Like when you get to that intersection of like, okay, I enjoy what I'm doing and I'm surrounded by the right people and I'm in the right industry, for lack of a better term, like things kind of line up and you're like, this doesn't even feel like work. Like I'm sure you go home at the end of the day like, okay, I'm tired, but you wake up the next day like, okay, what I get to do today?
You're recharged and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that space right now, so I know what he's talking about, and I appreciate you again talking about that. And I'm sure we're going to really talk about the blood and guts of it all, but it's cool to hear another person who's seen the top of the mountain and where I'm still like in my climb. It's cool to hear that like that intersection actually exists.
Yeah, I'll tell you a little story. In when I was at the liquor store, my partner, I dated his family. My ex-girlfriend, I dated her for 8 years. And then she left me, and I still was partners with these guys. And we were cool. Like, there was no problem. But I never went to some of the house events. Maybe she's there. I got to respect my wife and stuff like that. And that is why I kind of left that, because my growth stopped. And I knew that I got to go do this on my own, but are there times that, because when I asked that man, I was like, do I marry your family? He's like, you marry my family, you good. I'd be a multimillionaire right now. And there's no question. I was third man in line. Do I have any regrets? Absolutely not. If it wasn't for the failures, I wouldn't even be sitting here.
You wouldn't be who you are today.
Right. I would be under somebody. Yeah, I'd have money. Yeah, I would have the fancy cars, the big house, but it'd be somebody telling me what to do, and I'd do it. I'd be a puppy. And I'm a Leo.
Hey, come on. Hey, that resonates very well. And it's hard, man. Like, I'm not like super into, signs and all that stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of truth to it. I think as a man, right, you want to write your own ship. If the ship goes down and implodes or explodes, and it's your watch, that's on me.
And you can stomach that too.
Yeah.
It's the and you talk about it all the time. Like, it's one of those things. Like you said, as a man, like if I'm gonna go down, let it be at my own hand. Don't let it be because I'm just subject to the whims of somebody else.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd you say? Like when we first got this show off the ground, like when we're both in corporate, like if God forbid one of us pass away, the job description will be up before our obituary.
Yeah. Case in point, at the time of this recording, right? Jamie Foxx, hey Fox, hope you're doing well. He had a stroke.
Right.
You know what I mean? Last month, right? What did they do with the movie?
They get a stunt double.
They had 8 days left. Hired a stunt double to finish the movie. And this is Jamie Foxx. This isn't some guy that makes $35,000, $60,000 a year. No disrespect, right? But this is someone that's been in the game, that is an entertainer.
He's literally
right?
one of the most talented people we've ever seen.
1,000%. And they said the show don't stop. And to that point, for all those that work in corporate, right? The moment that you pass away, God forbid it happens, soon, they're going to have your obituary, they're going to have your job posting up faster than they will have your obituary up. So I commend you, for saying, hey, look, I'm gonna bet on myself. And let's just go there for a moment. So you've bet on yourself, you have success. Right?
I've had success.
You had success.
Yeah.
And then it comes out of nowhere. I'm sure there's visionaries that are out there wondering, and by the way, if you're still watching, thank you for your support. But like, how did you not see this coming? Like, what type of mindset do you have as a business owner? I'm sure people are asking that question.
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Absolutely. It's all because of me. The failure is because of me. My mindset had some scarcity mindset.
Was there any ego in there too?
Absolutely. Getting to number 2 in the country, CEO of the year 2018, 2019, not being spiritual.
Being a Leo.
Can't
touch me.
Brought you right back down to the ground and said, okay, you just lost it all. You got nothing now. Now who you are. So, let me ask you guys a question.
Yes.
Sure. What is the worst thing that's ever happened to you except from somebody dying?
Having it, working your way up. My story is similar, working your way up and losing it, and not appreciating it when you had it, not making the right decisions when you had it. Lack of a better term, letting it all slide out of your fingertips because of ego, greed, fear, anxiety, scarcity mindset, having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset.
Right, and I'll come back to you in a minute. And how about you, Mo?
I'm trying to think, man, because of like the most traumatic things that have happened to me has been death.
But that one's out of the equation.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think, like from a
Hey,
corporate.
we need to add this to the show.
I know. I remember I got fired from a job like 6 months after my daughter was born. Now looking back on it now, it was a blessing in disguise. But
That's
I mean,
right.
And that's the first time I'd ever been like fired from a job. Although I was, there's a funny story behind all that. But that was a very interesting time in my life. So you think about like just the hardest thing or whatever, and my mindset is like, okay, it's 24-hour rule. Like I got over it quick, but outside of losing a parent, losing my grandmother, like that's probably like a watershed moment in my life, I would think.
Okay, and I'll continue with you, and I'll come back to you. So you said it was a blessing.
Oh yeah, because it started me on a bit of a roller coaster from like a professional standpoint, and then I went through a time where people very close to me were leaving. Where I lost my dad. I lost a cousin 6 days after my dad passed. He was murdered, and then 11 months later, then my father-in-law passed away. So I went through like a 3 or 4 year run where it was just like, okay, well, like what's next, right? You just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. But from outside of death, you got a 6-month-old, and it's like, oh, hey, you don't have a job, quote unquote. That was traumatic for a hot second. But the blessing in it is like I knew ultimately like kind of where I wanted to be, and it set me on the path to where I am now. Like looking back at it now,
God's calling.
Yeah, like it ultimately led to me getting to where it is I needed to be. And Steve Harvey talks about it like doors close, and sometimes we as humans aren't conscious enough to realize like, no, it's just not your time there is like you're not supposed to be there anymore.
Yes,
like quit trying to get back in, like the store's closed.
I want to touch on that. I know you have a question for me, but don't let that go because we didn't come back to your question earlier. But yeah, fire away. Don't forget what you just said.
So you talked about your situation. So how did you overcome that?
I'm in the process, and it's funny because I got some thoughts. Right, I'm going to be coming out with content or creating a platform for content to talk about restoring confidence. My name is Ryan Cuffey, RC, Restoring Confidence. I was told, thank you. I was told yesterday, as a matter of fact, by a coworker, like, hey, you just have a presence about you. She said, you have a very strong presence about you. And I do. And I think that in this particular season, there's a lot of, self-reflection, self-inventory. And I'm big on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not too big or too small to grow. I'm not too big or too small to learn. Like, I'm certainly way far from perfect.
Still humble.
Well, I've been humbled. And
You've been humbled.
I'm in a season of humility, okay? And so for that reason, you do self-reflect. You do go back to your heavenly, for me, my heavenly Father, right? And you start to look at all the puzzle pieces that are laid out on the table, and you say, okay, this one goes here, this one goes here. Prayer, meditation, reading books, having healthy dialogue with quality people like yourself, Mo, things along that nature. But that story, that chapter within this story is actually being written. It is the ink on the paper that's being, written. And I want to get back to what you said, so don't forget it, Mo. But I'm curious, you talked about how you are documenting what it's like to be at the low point, which I think is, again, extremely transparent. Again, tip of the hat. But what provoked that line of thought for you to say, hey, look, I'm in the cellar, and here's what it looks like. I'm not, Instagram famous. I haven't been on here for 2 years. I'm not Twitter famous or whatever it is, platforms that you're using. And I'm going to tell y'all where I'm at right now, right here, present day, current time.
Because you can relate to me. There's many millions of people that want to quit their job and go work for themselves. There are tons of people that have failed or are failing and are probably in the same shoe as I am.
And don't talk about it.
And they can't talk about it.
Yeah.
And at this moment right now, my family is like, please don't do this. There's no need to do this. And, they are one of the people that maybe could be hurt from it because they can be like, yo, what is your son-in-law doing? What is your husband doing? What's your brother doing? Like, he's gone crazy. Like, why is he talking about this stuff? And I got my wife. She can help me out, but I don't want her help. I need to do this on my own, right? And the question I ask that is because when we look at the past, we have overcome everything.
Everything, yep.
Right? From going to learn how to go to potty to, becoming a grown man and all the failures that we have, except from somebody dying, we have overcome everything. That's depression. And the future is anxiety and stress. Yep. So most of us, we live in the past or we live in the future where I'm about to go. Wow. But we don't really live right now. We're always worried about what am I going to do next, right? Life is not guaranteed. We can walk out of here and that could be it, right? So we have to really learn how to be in the present moment, and that is...
It's a balance because the businessman and the entrepreneur in you is all, like you said, it's always, okay, I got this done now. Okay, what's the next thing that's good? There's always something that's got to be done.
Absolutely.
Like when you're really, really serious about what you're trying to accomplish, like I won't say you fall victim to it, but it just comes with the territory. Like, okay, I want to own 10 9-rounds. All right, well,
12.
Yes, I want to own 12 9-rounds. So
I'll tell you about that. It's happening.
Amen. So, and inevitably, like, okay, I don't have time to just sit still for 3 hours in a day and just think about where I am right now. Like, no, I got 12 locations I'm trying to get up and running and make sure they're the best locations they can possibly be. I don't, that goes, being quote unquote present in that sense, what you're talking about goes to the back burner.
What you just said, again, for me, in my season, in my space, right? First of all, I think it's very, very common what you're talking about in terms of the past is depression, the future is anxiety. You don't control either one of those two. And I have on my my mirror at home, control the controllables, right? That's all you can do. And what can I control? What I do, like my effort, my energy, my thoughts. I can control those things, right? To a degree on thoughts. But last night, I was in a moment, and this is me talking, Mo. Like, I'm just not that guy that's going to be vulnerable enough to share this, but also
we press on.
Yeah,
we push forward.
I push through it. I mean, it's athlete, it's Leo, it's all that stuff, right? But that's neither here nor there. But I had my moment last night, okay? And I'm in the Bible, Matthew 6:34, and really what you need to do is read like Matthew 25 through 34. But Matthew 6:34 says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." In other words, focus on what you can control and control the controllables, right? The past,
can't change it.
Future, you have no control over it. So we don't live in the past, we don't live in the future. You only live right now. And the problem with people, you talked about the dash. So there's a date that you're born, right? 1981, August 1st, 1981. Shout out to you. Then there's the dash, and then there's our end date. You don't control the first one. You don't control the last one.
Yep.
What's interesting is that the hyphen in the middle, the dash, is the only thing that we can control.
That's right.
And it's the smallest part of that entire script.
Man.
Real quick, I want to go back to what you said because I need you to jog my memory because there was something I wanted to ask.
I was talking about, when we as humans not realizing that, like, hey, sometimes the door closes for a reason. Like, we get stuck in like, oh, how could they fire me? Or how could this? It ain't time to be there no more.
Okay, so here you are, and that's a phenomenal point, Mo, and I want to get your perspective on it.
I got
Bankruptcy, going through a troubling time in the marriage, potential of losing the family, and we pray that doesn't happen. But how do you know it's not time? It's time for you to move on from 9 rounds and do something else.
Well, I don't want to move on from 9 round because that helps people, helps the community. There's a bigger impact than just being in a business that can generate money or not generate money. So I can easily close them down. It's easy to file bankruptcy because America's great. You file bankruptcy, they say, see you later for 7 years. Not even 7, 2 years, and I could be able to go buy a car again.
And you can go back and just rebuild it real quick.
And I'm talking about $750,000 to $1 million in debt right now. So that would be the easy way. So if it was the easy way, I should file bankruptcy and call it a day. But that's not who I am because there's a bigger impact that's happening to people. If my employees will lose their job, the community will lose a great gym that makes them healthy, and I've seen it. So, for me, like, I can go do solar, make a lot of money. I can go do sales. I can make a lot of money. I'm an accountant by trade, $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 job, easy. So I just don't believe in taking the easy road. There's a lot of learning that's happening right now.
Yeah, for sure. There's growth in this season, 100%. But I don't want to say the common person, but the common thought would be, look, bro, that door's closed. Like, how do you decipher? Okay, how do you decipher between moving on and pressing in?
Secret.
Let's get into it.
Perfect segue.
Let's get into it.
Okay, so it's a positive mindset. To have a positive mindset with every negative. The secret is what you think about is what you get.
Yeah.
Thought becomes things. Bob Proctor, right?
Yep.
And Think and Grow Rich.
Yep.
Right? One of another great one of the top books. And the more I think about the negative, that stuff is coming. So I don't let that faze me at all. I just think about the positive of, whoa, like the failure right now. Every successful man has to go through the failure in life, and everybody does. So it's a lesson learned. What is the secret? The secret is ask, believe, be ready to receive. The thing is, we don't even ask for what we want most of the time. Okay? I'll ask you guys another question. How much money you want to make? Not what you make right now. Like,
I have my number.
Yeah, okay.
I have my number.
Okay, so you got it. 70
million.
Beautiful.
He and I had this talk.
That's what I wanted to hear. 70 million.
He's like, wait a minute, I'm in bankruptcy. You tell me you want $70?
Hey, that's a start though.
Right? No, that's where it starts.
That's my number. 70.
You have to vision. You have to ask. You have to be positive in your things. And Secret is a book that my wife introduced me to many years ago, and then I started practicing. And then I started manifesting things, right? Like, such as going to the mailbox they talk about in there. Like, what's in the mailbox? Bills, right?
Yep.
Well, we get electronic bills now, but back in the day, it was paper bills. So I
still get bills in the mail. I don't know what you're talking about.
So, I started going to the mailbox. Ooh, there's a check in the mail with some high energy and high frequency. And then all of a sudden, I got this $4.88 of a dividends check, and I didn't even have stocks back then. I was a young kid, and it didn't faze me. And then next thing you know, I put my Tesla on my vision board. I got my Ferrari on my vision board. I got $1 million check on my vision board. Jim Carrey did that, right?
Yeah.
When he went to
was it $10 or $20 million check?
A $10 million check
wrote himself?
for acting, and he came from a farm. So it's you got to stay positive. You just can't let the negativity. The more you think of negative,
Yeah.
the more you're getting it.
Literally, I thought I had last night.
That is
Came
so real though.
No, just in general, like the generality of what you think about, it's a secret, right? Like what you think about, it will manifest. And so, okay, if you don't want that, think about what you want.
So do we walk around like, yo, I'm rich. Yo, man, I got so much money, bro. What you looking at? Get out of here. Do we walk around like that?
No.
Because that's called ignorance, right? That's called cockiness. That's called, man, I don't know this dude. But really, that's what it is, right? That's what it is. We got to feel that. We got to live as if you already got it.
So a couple weeks ago, we had Dr. Jake on.
Yeah.
And,
right.
and this was impactful, and this is just an echo of that, right? And he, you know, from a spiritual perspective with God, he's talking about walking as if you already have it, because he did the analogy of his grandmother paying for groceries by the end of the week.
Yeah, walking as if, and then he said work as if you've already got the promotion.
Yeah, and we don't do that. Like, we hear these words, but we don't behave these words.
That's because our parents manipulated us. Be careful, they're going to take your money. Be careful, like when we count money, we go to the side, we count the money and drop the 20 that we owe, right? We're always in this scarcity mindset.
Come on, Jesus.
So he talked about a vision board. And I don't have a quote-unquote vision board in my man cave, but I've got a big black poster board. I wrote a big white paint marker.
It's a vision board.
Well,
It's the
not
same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing.
But it's my billionaire goals, right? And
Ooh,
okay,
I love it.
I've got
Billionaire.
exactly. I forgot how it's sectioned off in like 3 different levels or whatever. But it's okay. Here's what I'm going to do on a daily basis. Here will be here are the results, and here's like what I'm trying to get to, some form of that or whatever. So like on one side, it's like, okay, I'm going to read X amount of books a year. I'm going to listen to X amount of audiobooks. I'm going to interact with this many people. Like, you know, I'm going to learn this, whatever it is. Then the middle part is like, how this will be the results of this. And then the third part is like, yeah, the dream house, the dream car, X amount of dollars in residual passive income every month or whatnot. And they say, I think it's the stat is like, if you write it down, whether it's a vision board, if you put it in a notebook or however you do it,
Write the vision.
write the vision, make it plain. It's like 50 or 60% more likely to actually happen if you actually put it out there, right? And so I'm in the middle of, or in the throes of it, as we say. I'm in the throes of that right now. Like, I'm seeing things coming upon the horizon.
You mind sharing an example?
What's that?
You mind sharing an example that you've manifested?
Oh man, when we get done, I'll show you the picture. I sent it to him at the beginning of the year.
I think he wants you to tell you. He wants you to talk about it on the show.
Give us one thing that you wanted.
Mo likes to hold things,
and
a
it
little
could be
closer
small
to the
as a
vest.
pair of shoes that you've been looking at, you know, to a car or something that you have got because you were like, I'm getting that.
So, right, like I told you before we started, like I work in the world of real estate on the raw land side, and I'm a bit of a unicorn in my field, right? And so I provide a very specific need, and I'm really good at it. But I also understand that, like, as I continue to grow and develop, I've got to expand to other areas. Like, I got a mass comm degree, and I'm minored in psychology. I knew nothing about the finance part of it, but I try to learn something from a finance standpoint in my field every single day. So now I can actually have those conversations with people when that part comes up, because I'm getting to the development of it too. So I need to understand curbs and gutters and asphalt and rebar and, you know, carrying notes and senior debt, and like I am learning and getting deeper and deeper into that pool every single day, and it's one of the things on my board. I'm going to read X amount of books per year. I'm like a book and a half behind, but I got a plan to get caught back up, and ultimately I will accomplish that goal for the year is over with. I've got a number in my head in regards to residual income. He and I talked about this at the very beginning of the year.
Shit, we talked about it today,
right? And we've set certain things in motion to where it's like one of them is like, oh, yep, it's about to turn over. Like, here we go. Like, so I'm seeing it come to fruition, and one brick at a time, step by step by step.
You know the thing,
It's all knowledge.
when you don't have specifically with money, right? Like, when you don't have money, you're thinking, how do I get it, right? But one thing that I've learned, and I've been very fortunate to do well, like from a financial perspective, it's especially in this world, recession or non-recession, whatever, money is easy to create. Like we
know that.
We know you can create money. You can literally have zero and create it.
Get it out the mud.
And
baby.
if you don't
know
know,
me.
visionaries, we've got plenty of episodes that have talked about different ways to create money, not make money, not earn money, but like literally create it. So the money thing, you know, my number, 70 million. Why? Well, there's reasons behind it, but
He told me that one night too. Like he was very like direct
specific.
about it.
Like I know
and
exactly.
he said
what
70. I was like, why?
I don't
And
need
he
71.
went and he went through. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I get it. I
Yeah,
understand.
it's 70, and it's going to happen because we can create. Like we have $1 trillion deficit. You mean to tell me that I can't get my 70 million? Like fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can. I got 100 million, and that's when I'm gonna reevaluate, because once I get there, I can go to the B word. But you know, I'll tell you a little story, and I don't know if I should, because when I say this story, usually people say, "All right, man, it's time for you to go."
No, by all means, we don't answer anybody. Speak
No,
your piece, sir.
But you know, I had the dream of a T word, trillionaire. Like nobody's had that, and it was after my dad passed away. I was laying down, I was sleeping actually, and I had this dream, and then I was like, whoa, and then I reverse engineered it 3 times, and I was like, is this for real? And I don't know if it's for real. It's just an idea, and I'll share the idea to you guys, any millionaires or billionaires hearing this. Why the American dream is to own a home, right? Everybody over here own a home?
Yep.
Okay, so let's say, Alan, do you own a home? No, Alan doesn't own a home, right? Does Alan have money to buy a home? No, right? Does he have credit? No. If I was worth $1 billion and I made sure my company had a great umbrella and protection
There it is.
of getting Alan a home, but it would be my company's credit. It would be, I would put the down payment for Alan. Let's say we bought him a $300,000 home, and Alan would pay the mortgage for 30 years, 50-50. Okay, I put my name, I put the down payment, but we're 50-50. Now that home 30 years from now is going to go to $500,000, right? In 20 years, Alan's like, yo, man, I got money now. I want to buy you out. All right, let's get an evaluation of the house.
Yep.
And buy me out for 50%, right? That's one scenario. The second scenario is,
That, by the way, that's just a wraparound loan. It's a subject to.
it's already there.
Yeah, subject to.
You know, and the other one is, if somebody has the money, we go 50-50 on everything, and I'll pay half the mortgage. But if I do that and I'm worth $1 billion or more,
What does it hurt you?
what does it hurt me? But I'm helping a lot of people, 1,000 people, maybe 100,000 people. Now I got 100,000 homes that I own, right? See, the thing is,
Passive income again.
we do not want to help the others. Once you get that money, we're thinking about how much more I can make.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
But
funny.
I don't know if that is real or not.
No, it's definitely
it just
real.
It just came as a thought, and I met somebody who did that back in the day. But now that person is called a bank.
right? No, it's not unrealistic, or it's not outer space, if you will. Because I had this conversation with somebody
You should
yesterday.
know that, yeah.
And we were discussing a deal, and she was like, "Ryan, we can make X amount on this deal." And she's like, "That's all fine and dandy," but her mind was already on, like, because she and I see things the same way, and she's like, "This is what we're gonna do once we get this closed." And it was very much the same. Like, now I can go help somebody else do what you and I are doing, or now I can give somebody else a jump start, i.e., I can go help Alan buy a home or something along those lines. So no, you're not crazy. I don't think that your thought process is out of line or anything like that. Like I said at the beginning, it'd be great if more people thought that way, because there's enough out here for everybody to where everyone, we might not all be able to be billionaires and trillionaires, but there's enough out here to where nobody should struggle.
Absolutely.
I've always, and Mo, you've heard me say this off camera and probably even on camera, like there's more than enough that's out there, and I think that it starts with the mindset, gratitude, the willingness to be a giver. You're a reader. I think you said you read 150 books, 140 books.
144 books.
144 books, right? Have you read The Go-Giver?
I have not.
Definitely encourage you to read that.
Absolutely.
The Go-Giver is a phenomenal book. And I won't ruin it for you because I'm one of those people like, don't tell me.
He said, "Don't tell me. Don't tell me."
This dude will tell me, "Hey, Mavs are up by." No, come on, man.
Well,
I don't
Mavs
hear
ain't up
nothing.
on nobody.
Yeah,
either.
yeah, for facts. Hey, shout out to my Mavs.
Come on, I'm a Celtics fan.
Oh, get out of here. I got no. I
You
got
don't
no
like
beef.
you don't like winners, huh?
No, I don't. Hey,
What do you got against winning, Cuff?
I got no beef with the C's. I got no beef with the
Well,
C's.
the Patriots.
Listen, shout out to anybody that wins, man. Like, there's no hate.
What is the Patriots all about?
What were they all about?
What are they all about?
They were about championships.
Do your job.
Oh, that's Belichick way.
Right,
Yeah,
but
just
you
do
know,
your job.
we don't hire talent. We don't hire, big names. We get anybody that's ready to put in that work. Everybody has a hat. You do your part, and that's it. You don't want to do your part, you're gone. From like Lawyer Malloy, Ty Law,
Richard Seymour.
Tom Brady. Like, come on.
Do your job, stay in your lane, and everything will work out.
That's right.
So listen, Mo, I think we can go another hour to 2 hours talking to Secret. Real quickly, we're about to land the plane. Go ahead and tell our visionaries how can they follow your journey? How can they learn more about you? How can they see what you're going through?
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Hemal the Secret 9, and on Facebook Hemal the Secret Patel. Right, I got the secret shirt on. When your signature becomes an autograph, that's success. But really, I know where I'm going. I already get in the Ferraris. I already sit in the Lamborghinis. I already get that energy and the frequency. I go to, car dealerships. I sit in there. I get my business card. Broke millionaire right here. Yeah. Okay, I am the broke millionaire. But you guys can relate. You guys all want to be there. You got to change your mindset. You got to change your perspective. Follow me. I'm telling the real deal. I'm telling the story. Not many people like it. My boy right here, Alan, today was like, yo, man, that's you crazy, dude. Like, you're too vulnerable to tell about, what's going on. But
it's crazy until it's not. It's difficult until it's done. It's hard until it's not.
I'm gonna throw one in there. It's appreciated when it's authentic.
There it is.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
I truly appreciate you guys.
Like facts. Like
what you guys are doing, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here. I don't know why I'm here. Like, right timing, right place. I needed this really badly. I need people to listen. I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm like,
you're really in it.
You can hear it from my heart that shit's rough, but I'm gonna overcome it. You go watch it, and if there's anything you can take, is just go read The Secret. I'm gonna be one of those guys who's gonna talk about The Secret. I'm gonna be educating people how to become small business owner. That's my dream, and have multiple businesses. But just keep fighting, keep believing. When things are hard, do not give up. That's the only thing. Just put yourself in as if you were in a different country. I was in Italy and watching the parliament, which is the White House, and they were physically fighting in there. I've been to poor countries where they don't have water. So we have something in America, and you guys should take this as a blessing, right? And work, keep giving what you got. Love the people around you. Love your bosses, love your family. Understand that you only get one shot, and there are millions of people trying to cross that border illegally or legally to come here.
Yeah.
And we already got it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it is time to land the plane, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Again, thank you for blessing us with your time.
Yeah.
Congrats to you, sir, another great guest.
Thank you for having me.
So as we wind down the show, question we ask everybody who's on the show. It's you, and it's an imaginary round table. Come on. You get 5 other seats to join you. They can be dead or alive. The only stipulation we put on it is that you can't have God or whatever religious entity you believe in. You can't have that person at the table because that's too easy. But outside of that, dead or alive, who you want your table?
Ooh. My mentors. I have a couple mentors. My liquor store owner, the mentor that's helping me right now.
So we'll just say the mentor.
Yeah.
But who are these people? You don't have to name him. 'Cause
Okay.
we kinda
I
talked
mean,
about
Jay Patel, Mike Barron. These I love both my parents because they are bringing me this energy. They are bringing me signs. I see signs all day. If you're seeing repetition signs, 111, 222, 333 up to 555, 1212, 909, look them up as angel numbers. If you have anybody that's passed away, they're looking out for you. Stop believing in that. Stop visioning that. So I would like my two mentors, both parents, and
one person left.
and at the end of the day, my wife, you know what I mean? She has been the backbone to provide. I haven't brought a single dollar since 2020 April to the house, and she's been carrying me for forever. I haven't been there for my daughter. She's been taking care of the daughter. But, today I don't have to punch in and punch out. I just recently had an employee say, look, I don't know what you do, but I got a baby. I got a kid at home. I can't be here. And I gave up all of that. I gave up time with my daughter when she was young. But today, I don't have to punch in and punch out. If I wanted to be home all day today with my daughter, I would. But I spoke to her earlier on FaceTime, and I said, I'll see you on Thursday night. Because Thursday nights, I coach soccer for a 9-year-old team. I got 11 kids. I'm all about giving back. That was a dream that I wanted to do when I retire, to coach soccer, because I was captain of my high school and college team 3 out of the 4 years. So you can start giving back right now. Giving back is free. And when you give, is more you get. Where all our hands are closed usually. I ain't giving. But when you do this and you start giving, your hand is open to receive. So, give back. Go become a big brother, big sister kind of community. Go help a homeless person out. Just go help other people and watch what happens. Lord is watching.
Man, that's powerful. That's powerful. Again, just mad love to you for jumping into the lab.
Well, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, for sure. In case you didn't know, secret, we have a magical time machine. Okay, what advice would Secret be giving himself 5 years ago?
Don't listen to nobody. Listen to your inside self. Your loved ones are the first one to tell you no. Your mother, your wife, your family, your friends. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's going to be tough. It's an industry that, that comes and goes. So, if you believe in something, then you go get it. Because if you have any doubts, that shit's happening. The doubts are coming. The failures are coming. So, stick strong. And there are a bunch of habits that you should follow every single day. And, you can go look at Michael Hyatt and a lot of people, such as, when you wake up, for 2 feet you put down, thank you, pray, meditate, work out, do some yoga, write your day, right? Like we talk about there isn't enough time in the day. But if I have this book that if you put, it says every 30-minute increments, if you write down tomorrow, right? And everybody's day is similar every single day. You wake up at a certain time, you brush your teeth at a certain time, you shower at a certain time, you drive at a certain time, you drop the kid off at a certain time. Your day is similar. If you wrote that down, when you're going to check your email, when you're going to read your book, when you're going to do X, and X. Now, I use an erasable pen because things don't always fall into plan. So when you have a plan for the day and a week and a quarter and your goals, things are going to happen.
Planning and execution are crucial.
Well, we say action, execution, all 2023.
Yeah, and I changed my words, right? And we talked about this. I think we talked about this, or maybe it was my brother. But my 2 words for this season. So the beginning of the year, it was reconstruction, right? It was deconstruction, reconstruction. Now that we're in Q2, my word is, or it's actually words, is intentional and expectant/expectancy. So that's what I'm going by for the next 90 days. I expect things to happen because I've been intentional with the actions that I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And the results, I will tell you, this is what, 3rd week of May?
Second or third?
Third week. Yeah,
April.
second week of May, and last month I started to see
Return.
the return, and I don't want to call it instant, but within short order. So those are my two words for the quarter: intentional, expectant
That's
/
deep.
expectancy.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna make it a little bit more challenging for you. We share the same birthday, so 5 years from now, what advice is the secret telling himself today in this season? So we're 46, about to be 47. What advice is he telling you today in May of 2023?
What advice I'm giving myself 5 years from now?
No. That person's looking back to you today, your future self.
So you climbed another mountain. He's looking back at you. That where you're going. He's
already
looking
there.
back. He's looking back now and telling you what? As you've risen from the ashes like the phoenix, what is he telling you?
Hey, man, one of those road trips you took for 30 hours, slept in the car for 4 hours, and you went and found your mentor, right? That was the best thing you ever did, because it's not what you know, it's who you know.
That's so strong. So strong. We didn't get into that story. Do you want to share that real quick?
I can.
Okay, let's go into it.
So, I have a virtual assistant business in the Philippines. I had 3 girls who were running 6 of my gyms, and I went down to 2 gyms, so I had to let 1 go. So I reached out to another 9-round owner, and I said, look, I pay him X amount of money. I don't want to make any money. You just pay this, and they'll make 100 to 150 calls for you a day. And he took it, and he started loving it. And next thing you know, my marketing guy is sending me clients. I don't have a company name yet. I don't have a website yet, and I'm profitable. It's more profitable, by only $1,500 than my 9-round business. And I'm like, damn. But with the 6 clients I have, they're all business owners, and we're like masterminding, and we're like, we need to work on finding the right marketing person. That's what's killing us. And after all of that, I've been trying to meet this man named Mike Barron. I'm gonna let it out here, and he was the reason. I'm trying to look for another gig, right? Like I got to find another source to make money. So I'm like, I'm gonna go work for Mike Barron. I'm gonna go work for Bob Proctor and talk about The Secret. I'm gonna go sell solar, because it's really hard for me to get a job. I can, but I don't know if I'll last more than 3 months. I'm a entrepreneur, so I'm gonna work for myself forever. And April 11th was the first time in 9 years my daughter had a sleepover, and my wife's studying her yoga and meditation. She's a yoga teacher, but she just does that for fun. She's a pharmacist by trade, and I'm studying Mike Barron because I've been asking Mike Barron's team to get me to Mike. I had Mike's cell phone number. I've hit him up, I've DM'd him, I've Instagrammed him. He don't respond, but the team was like, yo, man, $15,000 for an hour. I was like, come on, man, Mike knows me, come on. African-American man, Section 8 housing, to a multimillionaire, $2 million in just cars right now. I just went to his spot, and I was studying him, and he's, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to pull up at Mike Barron's office in San Diego. She's like, that's trespassing. You're going to get arrested. And I got a little upset. My Leo stuff got in my way, and I said, look, any dream I have, you're killing it. And she's like, look, I'm just telling you the truth. You just can't pull up like that. And, I called his younger affiliate, and I was like, look, my wife said you guys are going to arrest me. And he's like, nah, man, you're fam. Like, come on through. And I was like, all right, let me test this dude out. Give me the address. I'm like, he sends me the address. I was like, this guy's crazy, man. You don't send a millionaire's address.
You don't know me.
Yeah, And he did. And I studied till 1 o'clock in the morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock, and I said, I'm fired up. I'm like, I'm going to go. And I asked my wife, I was like, yo, can I go? She's like, why are you going to ask me? You're not going to even listen to me. You always do whatever you want to do. I was like, I just need your support. She's like, I ain't giving you a dime. I was like, I got $700. She's like, I was like, well, all I want to know is that if I go, something happens to me. Like, at least you know that I go. So the night before, he was teaching a lesson, and he said, what happens if you're going from point A to point B, and a tree falls down. Most people will turn around and say, yeah, it wasn't meant to be. He's like, successful people find a saw, move the tree, whatever, get to the destination. Just that morning, my secretary, my left hand, her water broke in 24 weeks, way too early. She had the baby. Unfortunately, she lost the baby also a week later, and it's all God's plan. Nothing negative about that. But I talked to another colleague and I said, look, what do I do? He's like, if you don't do this, that's your fault. You always sit back and say, I should have, I could have, I would have. He's like, you got to go. I'm like, but what Jessa takes care of, we don't even know what that client sells. And he's like, we'll figure it out. So I packed my stuff. I told my wife, you get me some food. And I went on a 30-hour drive by myself. I slept in the car for 4 days. I pissed in the car. And the first night I got a hostel because, we're manipulated to have a shelter, right? Mm-hmm. And I got a $30 hostel with like 21 people in there.
Well, let's be clear. You got a motel.
No, a hostel.
Yeah, man said a hostel. I heard him.
Like bunk beds, 21 bunk beds with 21 males and females.
Man was talking about really thugging it out and getting it out the mud. I admire
$30.
Well, hostel to me means something else.
Like dorm room.
Okay, I'm with you.
So when I went and grabbed something to eat and I came back at like 11:30, the whole locker fell on me. I was like, man, shit, I'm making a lot of noise. So I was like, I can't sleep here. I went right in the car and slept there, and I was there 5 a.m. till 10 at night because my mentor was there 10 till 10 at night. And I was like, if my mentor's here, which is a young 22-year-old Logan Perry, and I said, I can't, I know a lot more. I have been through a lot of experience. I'm going to stay here. So every day I got there at 5 and I stayed till 10, and I just needed one chance to talk to Mike Barron. And when I got that one chance, I said, look, since you left me and you did my lead generation, I've lost everything. Please help me. And I came up with a plan, and I'll make sure that he's taken care of financially on anything and everything I touch. And he's like, all right, go do this. You know what I mean? And, I'm betting on that a little bit. But even if that doesn't happen, and even if the business goes down, like...
we're still going to win.
Money is easy to get.
100%.
Easy.
100%.
Just got to work.
I love it.
I have one motto. There are no secrets to success. It's the results of preparation, hard work, and learning from your failure.
Amazing.
Kudos to
probably
you, sir.
more than we expected. You know what I mean? This is the final question of the episode. What is the long-term vision for Hemal Secret Patel?
Help people. There's nothing else. Doesn't matter if I buy them a McDonald's. Doesn't matter if I give them a job. I've given people apartment units right here. This man can vouch for me. Signed his lease for him. Some of the things that my wife doesn't know, so I'm going to get in trouble. But help people, man. Like, there's so much joy in that. I can't even tell you.
So powerful. So powerful. Well, again, Secret, it's been absolutely amazing.
August 1st, baby.
Yeah. Shout out to the Leos.
Appreciate
one
you.
more time.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to see you at the golf tournament on June 10th.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you in a month, bro.
Okay, get your driver out.
Hey, visionaries, one more time, make sure you guys register for this year's, the 4th annual VisionLab Podcast Golf Classic presented by fmtrades.com. We're tremendously excited to raise money to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society as well as the Alzheimer's Association. This has been absolutely amazing. I think we can go on and on and on.
We'll have to have him back.
Yeah, we definitely need to have him back.
Only if I make it. Which I'm going to make it.
Yeah, you're going to make it. Remember, visionaries, each one of our guests are dropping nuggets of wisdom on the trail of life. At the end of the day, my friends, it's up to you to pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Mosley. He is Ryan Cuffey. Thank you again to our guest, Hemal the Secret Patel. And we'll see you guys next time on another great episode of the Vision Lab Podcast.
Blessings.
Appreciate it. Thank you.